Hello students, in this video on DC polarography, we will discuss the different interferences which arise in polarographic analysis and how to overcome those interferences. First one is oxygen interference. Now oxygen which may be present in the sample solution acts as a depolarizer, that is a substance which will get reduced at the working electrode, that is a dropping mercury electrode, in preference to electroactive species. So apart from the polarogram or the polarographic wave of the electroactive species, oxygen waves will also be seen in the polarogram, and therefore it will create difficulty in polarographic analysis. Two oxygen waves are usually observed in the polarogram when oxygen is present. The first wave is due to the reduction of oxygen to hydrogen peroxide, and the second one is due to the reduction of hydrogen peroxide to water. These are the reduction reactions for the two oxygen waves which are observed in polarography when oxygen is present. Now the polarogram is being shown, which is a plot of current versus potential, and in this polarogram two cases are shown. The first one is for an oxygen free solution, and the second one is for a sample solution which contains oxygen. So in this case, two oxygen waves are observed. The first is due to the reduction of oxygen to hydrogen peroxide, and the second one is due to the further reduction of hydrogen peroxide to water. Now, the oxygen which is present in the sample solution creates difficulty in analysis, and therefore it needs to be removed. The oxygen can be removed by passing an inert gas like nitrogen through the sample solution for a period of around 10 to 15 minutes before the polarogram is being recorded. So this is how we can get rid of the oxygen interference. Second type of interference which may be observed in the polarographic analysis is the existence of maximas. These are called as polarographic maximas. The polarograms, as we expect from theory, may not always be well-defined S-shaped curves, but sometimes maximas are observed, and we have two kinds of maxima which are observed in polarography. In the first case, the current may keep on increasing on the rising portion of the curve to a very high value, and then it will suddenly jump down. It will suddenly come down to attain a steady limiting value. And such type of maxima is called as the maxima of first kind. Or we may also have a maxima of second kind, in which a rounded hump is being observed. So this is the maxima of second kind. Now these are the polarograms which shows the maxima of the first kind and the second kind. So here you can see the current has increased to a very high value, and then it has dropped down to a limiting value. So this type of maxima is called as the maxima of the first kind. And in the second polarogram, we can see that a rounded hump is being obtained, and this rounded hump is called as the maxima of second kind. Now these maximas create difficulty in the measurement of E-half and ID values, which are important for both qualitative and quantitative analysis respectively, and therefore these maximas need to be suppressed. So for that purpose, we have certain substances which are called as maxima suppressors. So before we start the polarographic analysis, we need to add maxima suppressors to our sample solution. Common examples of maxima suppressors are gelatin, Triton X100, etc.